Greetings and welcome to week 2 of National Serger Month. We're happy to have you joining us. We're going to be talking about a fantastic serger today, one of the Baby Lock line. We're going to be looking at some accessories and notions and feet, and we're also going to get to see some techniques. But before we get into all that, I want to remind you about a fantastic promotion that's running right now. I don't want you to miss out. We are offering 60-month no-interest financing on a Baby Lock Solaris or a Baby Lock Triumph. Now, we've just found out that Tacony has opened up this financing promotion to include all machines with a $5,000 minimum purchase. So that means you could get into a Meridian or an Altair, which is a lovely sewing and embroidery machine. So let me show you the details again here from Baby Lock. We've got no interest financing for 60 months. April 1st through April 10th. Now, April 10th is this coming Saturday, so you've only got a couple more days to take advantage of this. Be sure you don't miss out because this is a promotion we only offer every couple of years. So, Tim, let's take a look at a serger. This is the Baby Lock Acclaim. It's one of the 4-thread sergers from Baby Lock. You can see it's got the lovely stadium lighting here. We've got an expanded work area here of 2 inches. It's got the revolutionary threading, so let me show you how that works. I'm going to thread part of this. I'm sure you don't want to watch me thread the whole thing, but I'll show you how each of the different threading systems work. So we're going to put the machine into threading mode, and I'm going to feed a little bit of thread down into the tube here. Now, this is the Maxi Lock stretch thread, so it's a little bit fuzzy, so we'll have to see if it'll cooperate with us a little bit here. There we go. You need to put down about 1 inch into the tube here. That should be enough. And then when I press my threading button, you're going to see the thread come up over here, and that'll be all the way through the machine. So let's see. There we go. Looper threaded. Easy as that. So we'll let Tim focus now in onto the needles, and I'll show you how the needle threading system works. We're going to pull down our automatic threader. I'll go ahead and get a hold of my thread here. And again, I'm using the tweezers so that I can keep my hands out of your view there. Alrighty, so I'm going to push the button. It gets a little loud. The motor will come on. And then I am going to just point the thread at the needle. It'll be pulled into the needle, and that's all we have to do. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn it on. Turn it off, and then when I lift up the threading lever, there's my thread through the needle. Piece of cake. You don't have to be able to see the eye of that needle anymore. All right, so now that we're threaded, we're going to do a little bit of sewing for you here. Tim's going to be giving you a nice close-up. So here we've got some denim with sort of a raggedy edge here. I'm going to show you how the serger works to tidy up any fraying edges that you've got. We're set up here for our basic 4-thread stitch. And you'll notice that the machine is going to trim, except that I've locked the blade so that you could see the needle threading. Let's do that again. All right, the machine is going to trim off those ragged edges and give us a nice enclosed seam or edge finish. And there you can see our beautiful finished edge. It's cleaned up any little fraying bits you've got along the edge there. So very nice. I'm going to run this through again and just show you as if I were making a seam here. You can also use your serger for sewing seams. It's not just for finishing edges. So we'll feed our denim through again. Has no trouble sewing through 2 layers of heavy Levi denim. So here I've got my seam that I've stitched, and if I open that up, you'll see I've got a nice strong seam with my serger stitching. So a really nice way to do some fast and tidy sewing all at once in one step. So the next thing I'd like to show you is how our differential feed works. So with the differential feed is designed to manage difficult knit fabrics for you, as well as do some gathering for you. So I've got this set up now to do a little bit of gathering. You'll be able to see here when I run this fabric through how quickly it can make a nice gather or ruffle for me. So here we've got a beautiful little ruffle, and the machine did all of that for us. Now we can also adjust this if the gathering's not tight enough for us. Easy enough, we can just pull the threads that have gone through here, and it's going to create an even tighter ruffle for us. Now I'd like to show you one of the specialty feet, and that is the ruffling foot. So I'm going to exchange out my foot here. These are snap-on feet, so very easy to take that one off and put the next one on. Now this ruffling foot works like a ruffling foot on your sewing machine.
Okay. Gina is here today.
It's got a slot in it so that I can attach and ruffle all in one step. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have my ruffle fabric on the bottom here, and then we're going to be attaching it to a flat piece on the top. So if you think of like a bed skirt, or if you were wanting to put a ruffle on a pillow or a dress, and it's going to do this all in one step for us. It's a little awkward sitting off to the side here. There we go. So now you'll see how we can ruffle and attach all at once. So I've got my flat on the top with my lovely ruffle on the bottom. So as I said, bottom of your curtains, the edge of a pillow, a bed skirt, even a little girl's dress. Heck, these days I think ruffles are back in again, maybe for your own dress. So very nice ruffling that the machine can do for you. And that's with this specialty foot. Let me show it to you real quick. So it's got this slot here where you're going to feed your top fabric, and this little spring on the bottom. This helps the fabric to ruffle up a little more and gives you a nice full ruffle. So that's our ruffling foot. Let me show you next a piping foot, or cording foot as they call it. We'll put this one on the machine. So this is great for sewing pipings in, and we can do it all in one step. So I'm going to have here, I've got two pieces of fabric. I'm going to sandwich my piping in between and stitch it all at once. Normally you would be applying your piping to one side and then attaching your second piece of fabric. Well, we're going to do this all at once. Let me get that up a little bit closer here. There we go. There's a groove in the bottom of the foot, so I'm going to feed that piping right into the groove there. And get all lined up. And we're just going to follow along. That groove in the foot is going to keep the piping right where we want it to be. So you can see it's sewn the seam there for me, and when I open it up, I've got my perfectly positioned piping. Isn't that fantastic? Nice and tight, nothing showing at the edges that we don't want to see. So beautiful job of putting in piping there for you. Let me show you what else we can do with the piping foot. This is kind of a really fun technique. Actually, I think before I do that, Tim, let's show them some rolled hemming. So let me show you quickly how quick and easy it is to convert the machine for rolled hemming. I'm going to need to take out a needle, which is very simple to do. I'll show you here. Lift up our foot so I can pull this thread out. Alrighty, and then we've got our little screws right up top here, and they're marked left and right. Now Baby Lock has installed a little plate on the front here, so I don't have to worry about forgetting to tighten my screws back up, because they can't fall out of the machine with that little plate on the front, a little safety plate there. All right, so rolled hemming is done with just the one needle, and I'm going to make just a couple of little switches here and are ready to go. So I'm going to show you on the edge of the little ruffle that I just made here how we can do a nice rolled hem. Now normally I wouldn't do it with this piping foot, but we should be okay there. This goes a little bit slower because I've got a very short stitch length. And I'm going to go a little bit slow so that it's not super loud in my microphone here. All right, and there you can see our lovely rolled hem. Isn't that beautiful? So you can see a beautiful even stitch. Nice rolled hem on the bottom of our little ruffle there. All right, so the reason I did that is because the next technique I want to show you with that cording foot is that it works really well for installing zippers. However, we didn't want to have both needles in there to do the zipper. So I'm going to show you now. We always want our zipper to be a little bit longer than our fabric, so that we don't run into the zipper pull when we're stitching. So I'm just changing my stitch length back and my rolled hemming, because we don't want to be doing rolled hemming here. So with your zipper, you want to get that pull behind the foot. We need that zipper pull to be out of the way there. So I'm going to come in behind, get my little thread tail out of the way for quickly. There we go. Alrighty, so we get that zipper pull behind the foot because we don't want to be hitting that.
Zoom in.
Alright, and so again, that little channel in the foot is going to keep our zipper in just the right position, so that we can sew perfectly right next to it. And there you can see we've got a great job of inserting our zipper. And this is great for exposed zippers if you're doing bags or jackets, or fun things where you want to actually see that zipper, and we all know that that's real trendy these days down the back of your garments as well. So nice exposed zipper if you're working with decorative zippers. Great treatment, easy to do with that specialty foot. So that's what I have for you today. Couple of little things I want to mention. We do sell the different Serger feet from Baby Lock, and you can also always get foot kits, which are a much more economical way to purchase your feet. So if you're looking for more than just one, if you can buy the kit, you're going to save yourself some money. I also have a pair of tweezers here, because as you see, they come in very handy when you're working on the serger. We're kind of dealing with a small space in the machine, and that helps you to get in there and reach what you need to reach. I'd also like to show you this little guy here. This is called the hook key. This is a great little notion developed for sergers. And if Tim wants to zoom out a little bit there, I will show you how that works. We're going to take a hold of our thread tail here. Let me trim that off so it's not quite so long. And the way this works is we're going to slide it up into our stitching underneath. And then there's a little hook on the end. We're going to grab the tail, and then we can pull it back through. And now our tail is buried inside our seam, and we don't have to worry about ragged edges on the end there. So nifty little gadget called a hook key. Great investment for your serging, makes things much tidier. Alrighty, so again, that's what we've got for you today, a nice quick little demonstration. Hope you enjoyed that. We've got some great promotional deals on our sergers this month for National Serger Month. So you can see, Tim, if you'd like to show them the inspiration guide and the thread box that's coming with this machine this month. We also have sale pricing, and we will take your trade-in.
Do we have a class coming up?
So be sure, we do. So be sure to take advantage of our machine sales this month. And as far as classes go, I do teach a Serger Basics class every other month, so you can take advantage of that. It's open to all machines, all brands, and that we go through how to thread your machine, how to do all the different stitches on the machine. We work with some different fabrics, so you get a good range of basic skills from that class. And again, that happens every other month. You can check our website on our calendar for the dates for that. But coming up at the end of this month, up on top, Tim, we've got our 2-day Serger workshop with Queen Gina. This is a fantastic sort of immersion if you really want to get to know your serger well. So with this workshop, it's also a test drive. If you don't have a Baby Lock serger and you're considering getting into one, we will loan you a machine for this class. So if you'd like to take one for a test drive. If you already have a Baby Lock serger, you're welcome to join us and learn more about your machine. We go through the basics again of how to thread the machine and the different stitches. We do a lot of different techniques and work with a lot of different fabrics. The second day we make 3 projects, so you have some things to take home with you. The price also includes a workbook with pages for you to put your samples in, so you can keep everything handy as a reference to look back and see which techniques you want to use and how to do them, and your setup for your machine and all of that information there. So be sure to join us for this class. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time. One last bit of housekeeping here. I want to remind you that you can always shop on our online shop at kingdomsewing.com. You can sign up for any of our classes on our website. You can go to the calendar or to the class list. If you've signed up for our newsletter, you'll also be getting monthly notifications about what classes are coming up, as well as any new products that we've added to our online shop. So be sure to take a look there. Again, if you'd like to sign up, kingdomsewing.com, or you can give us a call at 805-579-1571. Be sure to join us again next week on Thursday at 10:30 for week 3. We'll see you then.